If you guys want that bicep peak that we all desperately want, right? Since the moment we got started lifting, that was the thing we wanted. Big biceps, little curl action. That's what I'm here for. In today's video, that's exactly what we're gonna take care of in the most effective way possible without really needing much time. Let's get in today's video. Dudes, it's absolutely crazy windy here today. Look, dude, the wood boards are starting to fall off. But without further ado, before we get started, tucking like an absolute gentleman, not gonna forget that, because in today's world, I mean, we've lost all class, all standard for anything. I don't care if I'm about to get blown off the roof. I'm gonna be blown off the roof with a tuck-in. All right, they're gonna know when they're gonna pick up my corpse. This guy was a gentleman. I mean, he's got a tank top tucked in to the gray sweatpants. But without further ado, when it comes to the peak that we all want, you need to target the long head of the bicep. But I'm gonna show you today is the superset framework I use for basically every single day I lift, but specifically for this. Extremely effective, extremely efficient as promised. So on the front end of this superset, what I'm gonna show you is something you actually want to progress in. So typically that's gonna be a compound movement, right? But it doesn't always have to be the case. That's the way I like to do it. And you always wanna pick something that's much easier to progress in. That way you're making sure you're getting stronger. But the incline dumbbell press is an absolute classic for a reason. But the way you want to set it up, I'm not looking to go too inclined like this really even. I like to have it a little bit like this, almost like a shoulder press. Yeah, that should do. That should do. Okay, so that's how steep I like to keep it, and that's just because my goal when I'm here, and I always keep my head back, really important, because that way we can feel the stretch and sink into it, just like this. And then from here, guess what I'm doing? Curl, up, boom, just like that. Come all the way down, reset, up. You don't need to go slow and controlled in terms of like obnoxious, to be honest. You just do that in the beginning to get the rhythm in. From there, you're trying to crank out reps without compromising on quality of form. And as you can see, partials to complete failure, especially when you're able to do heavy weight with that level of quality. This is how you're going to seriously progress and put on more muscle with less time, because that set's going to give me a lot more than most people's, 3 sets of 10 reps. It should be very difficult, but you should feel yourself progressing and having to push through those reps. But on the back end, we want to pick something that is much easier to isolate to take that muscle to complete failure. So we're biasing the same exact muscle back to back. And that's because we train like snipers. So without further ado, back into the superset. Let's hope that thing sticks up. So what I'm doing, and the reason why I like this is because I've always had minimal equipment growing up. So I had to come up with a framework that was pretty independent of the equipment that I had, because I always wanted steroid allegations without the steroids. And because of this framework, I was able to achieve it. And that's what makes it cool is you see it's very bare bones what I have, but it hasn't at all stalled my growth. I'm still continuously getting stronger, putting on more muscle, losing more fat, and that's the goal. You want that level of progression. God, I hope you don't fall over. So what I did is I pick up 2 of these D handles, just like this, and what we're doing is biasing that same portion of the muscle back to back, because this is targeting the long head, just like that incline dumbbell press. And because we progressed on that, my goal is just to take this muscle to complete failure. Which is why I say usually an isolation exercise for that reason. Because I'm not really worried about progressing. My goal is to take it to complete failure. That's the use of an isolation exercise in my humble opinion. And I'm absolutely toast. Let's wrap this up. And there you have it, boys. We haven't done that in a while. For the OGs on this page, gotta give you guys that backlog. I feel like I haven't done it for a while. Maybe you guys missed it. Maybe you didn't even recognize we missed it. So if that's the case, you ain't hurting my feelings. You know what I mean? But this superset framework, the OGs know, absolutely stupid. Dead like a sniper, dead between the eyes. And I don't see anybody else working out in this way. And like I said, I had to come up with it because of one reason. I didn't have the luxury of a commercial gym. I always had to kind of have more bare bones equipment, so by the time I got to the commercial gym, I just took this framework with more options and I got better gains. I love this way of doing it. Plus, in my opinion, I've always wanted to have steroid allegations without the roids, but I also don't want it to be my entire life. And that is pretty much what this entire page is for. The whole point of this page, I always say there's 3 pillars: strength, resilience, and character, right? I like to do what I need to do here, and that way I can take all of the benefits that come from the gym and training and move it to my real life and actually move it towards building a life, you know, bigger and better than I ever thought I was capable of, right? That's what it does. It really irons out self-belief. You start understanding like, oh, if I do the right things, this is actually like results come. In the beginning, it feels like a fantasy, but once it starts becoming real, it's going to bleed over into other areas of your life. And it's your job to take that and to allow it to bleed over into other areas of your life by taking it and moving with it, right? Because at the end of the day, you ain't doing nothing. Nothing means a damn thing. You can be in shape, but what does the rest of your life look like? And that's the point. We can have it all. That's what the Crusaders do. Anyways, I appreciate watching this video. I do hope this is well worth your time, especially if you made it till the end. Congratulations. Got yourself a nice little bicep peak coming in, guaranteed. But I love you guys for watching. If there's anything you guys want specifically, please let me know. Drop it down in the comments. If people like those comments, give those a thumbs up, and that way I don't make a video on it. As always, y'all, I love you very much. From Uncle Rami to the Natural Crusaders. Crusadia coming to you soon. It's coming. I love you guys. Uncle Rami out. Peace. It's a bloody windy one today, in the words of my Brits. Hold on. Jesus. It's an absolutely bloody one today.